the last Kiss show, Madison Square Garden. So tell me, what were your feelings at that time? Was it excitement? Was it sadness? Was it relief? Was it joy?
Well, quite honestly, it was a combination of all of them. Uh, Half a century of doing this stuff is is enough time. You've got to pick your battles in life, and all things must pass, as George Harrison said. You've got to know when gracefully and graciously and thankfully get off that stage before it's too late. Now, having said that, that just means Kiss. And the reason I'm saying that is because Kiss had the hardest job of any band on that stage because I was wearing dragon boots that are, I'm sure, the size of your appendage, at least 7 inches tall. Each one weighed as much as a bowling ball. There was about 40 pounds of armor and all that stuff. And you had to spit fire every show and fly through the air and all that. And the physicality of it was just too, uh, too limiting. And so we could have been smarter and put together a band like the Stones, although we couldn't shine their shoes. Now, of course, Jagger's in amazing shape and he runs around. But if I was Keith and I had to wear a t-shirt and strum a guitar, the great Keith Richards, you wouldn't necessarily have to break a sweat. You could walk on stage wearing what you're wearing, be comfortable, and then walk off stage and go to the pub or the schmub or whatever you guys call it. And so it was the right time. It was a sense of pride and also a sadness because, it's coming to an end.
And was it something that you and Paul got together and it was almost like this is probably the best time to do it?
Well, we've been talking about it for a few years, actually. And pre-COVID, we started the farewell tour, which was going to be about 300 cities around the world, try to do single ones, outdoors, indoors, and all that, try to cover the planet. And then COVID came in, and then it was, concert interruptus. And then we picked up after COVID and finished off 10 blocks from where we started. Madison Square Garden is literally 10 blocks from where we first started in a rat-infested loft.
Fantastic. I love how things come full circle. And in terms of that final gig, then you announced to the world there would be a new era for Kiss as well, didn't you? The avatars as they're known. So can you give us any more information on how that's developing?
Well, I will say that it's beyond anything anybody's ever seen, yours truly included. You can go on YouTube or SmooTube or whatever other buttons you like to push and put in Kiss avatars, and you'll get just a taste of it. Although it's like drawing a skyscraper; you just get a sense of what it is. But when you actually see the skyscraper, it's amazing. Um, or it's like seeing a Godzilla comic book as opposed to real Godzilla walking down the street 50 stories tall. So you'll get a sense of that. But that's about all I'm going to say about it, except that there are going to be a few $100 million spent in making sure that people's jaws will drop.
Wonderful. And can you tell us, is it live shows? Is it kind of movies? Is it stadiums? Is it movie theaters? What sort of thing can we expect?
Imagine, well, today you've got technology where you can stick on a pair of these kinds of shades and you get virtual reality where if you're falling off of a cliff, you actually believe you're falling off. You don't believe it. Now imagine that happening without anything over your eyes.
Fantastic stuff. And is that going to be movie theaters? Is it going to be stadiums? Is it kind of concert themed?
No comment.
I'm really not getting anything out of you. Let's move on then to Kiss being one of the latest kind of musical acts to sell the back catalogue. And again, that's something that a lot of artists are doing. And you guys sold the imagery rights as well, didn't you? This famous onstage personas too. So why did you feel that this was the right time to do so for that as well?
You can't do everything and take care of everything. We have a few houses, and in a few countries, as a matter of fact, but I can't mow the lawn and cut the grass in every one of them. And if a pipe breaks someplace, I can't be there. So you have to have people who are part of the team who take care of everything. Kiss is the house we built, but in order for it to move on, because it's such a many tentacled beast, unlike lots of other bands, by the way, we love U2 and Coldplay and lots of other bands. They're terrific, but you don't have to worry about licensing and merchandising, toys, games, all the minutia that goes into running this juggernaut of an empire, which has taken in billions, I'm proud to say. So where most bands, almost all bands, get their bread buttered, as they say, with live concerts because record sales are dead, we have ancillaries. It's a big word like gymnasium, which means the toys and the games and all that stuff continue to sell and people love them, and we continue to make new cool fun stuff.